Not that wide, though.
Well, I know Thorpe's a left-hander and he would play Shane Warne differently to a right-hander, but it's a situation like this when you realise what an asset Shane Warne is. And as a right-hander, I also think how I would go about trying to face him out there right now.
A big appeal for a catch down the leg side, and the umpire down there saying not out. And, well, the Aussie's a little upset about that one. Healy certainly reacting, and also Warne. Now then, let's have another look. Well, it was going right across the face of the bat. Let's have a look at this angle.
From the replay, there's no doubt the ball has not hit any part of his body, so if it's hit something, it had to be bat then. Yeah, I'm sure there's no possible way the ball has flicked the thigh guard or any part of his body, so if it's hit anything, it's definitely the bat, and therefore the strong appeal.
Yes, that one spun a long way as well. Yes, it certainly looked as if there was some deflection there, a bit hard from that angle to tell exactly what it was, but the bat was right there, wasn't it? And certainly the reaction of the bowler and the wicketkeeper would suggest that it was Woody. It's comfortably tucked away behind square for one, so Thorpe maintains the strike. One from the over, 5 for 128.
What's it take to get you lot moving this morning?
Truckload of Farmers Union would be a good start.
The day I get in a truckload of Farmers Union is the day you blokes take up ballet. Farmers Union? What's the smallest truck you've got?
Categorical, but there was a deflection and the bat was so close. Gillespie back over the wicket now. He's starting to get his line right now. He's taken a bit of a pummeling today. 7.1 overs, 3 for 53. Warne's also bowled 7 overs, no wicket for 19.
In this situation, the most important thing with those figures are the wickets. 3 for 53. And while he's gone for a few runs, we've got a lead of at the start of 450. He can afford to go to a few, but the wickets are so important.
Oh, he's flayed that one through the offside. Well, I tell you what, every now and again, anything wide outside off stump, he really gets stuck into. I don't know that he quite middled that one, but he certainly let the bat go at it.
Well, he's not going to go wondering. He's really playing an aggressive innings, and I think that's the way to go. Anything wide, anything loose, and he's thrown everything at that. But he really is in a positive frame of mind, and as I say, that's 5 wickets down, a long way behind. I think he's taking the right approach.
And that's his 1,000 runs against Australia. So the 4 goes down to the fence, and well, he may not know it, but alongside his name goes that special little notation that says he's now gone past 1,000 runs against the Australians.
And an average of just under 48 for Graham Thorpe. Very healthy average. And I know that he enjoys playing against the Aussies. Feels it's a huge challenge. So he'll be happy with those stats.
So that's a breakdown of Graham Thorpe's career so far, and just looking at his average, his best average in the middle there, 61. That's against New Zealand. He played very well against New Zealand, and then of course Australia comes next with an average of 47.76. Correction, there's another one down there, 48, 3 test matches against India, so nothing much in that. So really he's done so well against India and Australia, and obviously the last tour down to New Zealand as well was a good one for him. He's definitely a fighter, that's for sure. Highly regarded by those who play with him at Surrey. So let's have a look at some of his other figures there. Most of his test matches have been against the West Indies, 11 in all. Highest score of 94, hasn't got 100 against them. But he has got 750s against them and an average of 35. And surprisingly, his worst average is against Zimbabwe. Almost hard to contemplate.
I suppose the thing with that, Tony, is he's only played 2 matches, so he's had a couple of bad ones and hasn't had a chance to rectify that yet.
Oh, he's whacked that one too, and that one's taken him to 50. Well, just outside off stump, and he really is getting stuck in. I think he's giving the gullies a bit to think about. Well, this is a fighting 50. 5 for 140. Nine fours, so a high proportion of his runs have come in boundaries. Only 51 minutes he's been batting for, so it's a run a minute, and that by any standards is good.
Well, there's Graham Thorpe's wagon wheel, and see all the shots going behind point, guides and mainly square cuts. I can tell you most of them have been, he's thrown the whole blade at them and they've raced down there. That's been where he scored most of his runs.
File and one file. Don't leave there now.
Right now the problems are with Ben Hollyoak. He hasn't been out there for long, just 15 minutes, and he's only faced, what's it, 14 balls now, so he's really concentrating on Shane Warne. Ooh, and that is a flipper. Again, slightly off line. One of the problems Warne's had just lately, actually, is getting that flipper on line.
He's taken a lot of wickets with that particular delivery. But you're right, Tony, I don't think Warnie's been bowling his flipper with the same accuracy as he did when we last took on England, which was in Australia in 94, 95. But obviously, one of his main balls in his repertoire, or change-up balls, and continually working on every delivery. And he has so many slight variations to each one of them as well.
And that one pitched outside leg stump, and so he's allowed to pat it away. Even if it was going to hit the wicket, it wouldn't make any difference. The playing conditions, the laws of the game actually state that anything pitched outside leg stump cannot be out LBW. And Healy just doing a great job behind those stumps. Really such a wonderful wicketkeeper and such an attacking batsman. He's already played superbly in this test match with the bat, and of course taken a lot of catches too.
Oh, ball. well, Shane.
And there's another example of him taking a ball, bouncing and spinning away. 5 for 140. I wonder what's going through his mind. So 5 wickets in hand. And it's going to be Rifle who's going to take over now from Gillespie. Gillespie, a useful spell from Australia's point of view in so much as he got wickets. But he was pretty expensive, but that doesn't matter. He did strangle the wickets a little bit. He got one to, I don't think it nipped back a little bit. It was there for the drive through the offside. Hussain dragged it back onto the stumps and it knocked the leg stump out of the ground. He then got one caught down the leg side. So a couple just a little bit lucky. Well, they're certainly sharing the overs around. This will be a little bit more predictable here. Rifle will nag away and there won't be too much width for Thorpe. So there's the overs to bowl. Just 10 overs to go. That's the figure there. Time these days doesn't matter so much. So 10 overs have got to be bowled this evening before play will finish. So all of a sudden, no room for Thorpe to smash it through the offside field. He's had a ball in that area, peppered the boundary just behind square on the offside with 4s. The other shot that he plays quite well too, or very well when he's going well, is that pull shot. His short little arms and he jabs it away through mid-wicket. Strong he is. He hasn't got anything short to do that here today, certainly not from the fast bowlers. He looks a good cricketer, Graham Thorpe, and when one looks at that batting lineup, one would have to say that certainly from this commentary box, I reckon Atherton, Stewart, then Hussain, followed by Thorpe, would be the way I'd start if I was to change anything in this this lineup. This would be my top 4. Crawley, I think he's had a long go. I'd really be looking for someone to leave out. He'd probably be the one. And then make sure there's an extra bowler in there in this England lineup for the Oval Test match. Very lucky in so much they've got Atherton as their wicketkeeper and batsman. Correction, Stewart as their wicketkeeper batsman and going in at number 1 as well. So that helps them a little bit. It just seems to me that having brought the Hollyoaks in as well, you can't drop them. So one of them, someone's got to go. One batsman's got to go, and I reckon it's got to be Crawley. And then, of course, you've got to start thinking about what to do with the attack for the Oval Test match. Gough will come back in. It may just be that he should go in there with those bowlers. And perhaps it's time to reconsider Croft's role as a spinner. I'm sure that that'll be on the agenda. Of course, my co-commentator here will be hoping that he's on the agenda for the Aussie discussion.
Yeah, well, I certainly would like to play in one test match of this series, but the hard thing is, Tony, when we keep winning, if we win this one, it'll mean we go 3-1 up and reluctant to change a winning side.
Yes, well, I suppose we'll come back to that in a second. 2.
Dad, is there anything to eat?
Oh, I'll see.
Yum!
Now it's easy to perform brilliantly in the kitchen. Introducing new ready-to-bake cookie dough, including Anzacs and M&M's milk chocolate from the Home Bakery.
Wickets in hand, 5. He's just getting back to my fellow commentator here, Michael Slater. Obviously, his point is well made. This team keeps winning.
Working hard, Warnie.
Everyone just patted away. Yes, just getting back to Michael Slater's predicament. Of course, they're unlikely to change it, aren't they? One has to be realistic about this last Test match. Having won the series, they'll probably keep going with the same team, which really places you in that situation where you've got to go back. And I suppose because you've had this summer out here, you've been practicing a fair bit, so you'll just have to go in there at the beginning of the season and just make thousands.
Yeah, I hope that's the case, Tony. It's been, yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's been frustrating not playing in the Test matches. From this Test match, we go to Ireland for a couple of days, a one-day, and then we come back and take on Kent down at Canterbury, and I should play both of those games.
Well bowled.
And then, of course, it's into the last Test match, and I can't see there'll be a change. The only change in the batting lineup has been Ricky Ponting in for Michael Bevan. And when the side's winning, you're just reluctant to change a winning side, and there's no need to if the side's playing well together. So my sort of thoughts from now to for the remainder of the tour.
Top bowling.
It's well bowled again. Simply to practice as hard as I have done all tour, and in preparation for that first game for New South Wales when I get home. And I'm looking forward to the season back home, and as you say, hopefully a lot of runs, and at some stage forcing selection again.
Yeah, I just reckon it's straightforward. Every opportunity you get, you've got to make as many runs as you can. I mean, that's in the air, and that one really was, well, that was a very ordinary shot. He closed the face of the bat, I reckon, on a ball spinning away. Perhaps he thought it was the googly. It lobbed past the silly point fields when their Mark Waugh too close, obviously, to react quickly enough, and it very nearly caught by Ponting.
Well, I think he's played the ball on the line that it's come down to, which the line was probably leg stump, and he's just tried to turn it into the onside, and because he turned the bat to the onside, he got that leading edge. Ricky Ponting, a gallant effort, but couldn't get a hand on it.
I think, oh yes, he's given him a little nod, and up goes the finger. Well, it's taken a while to get Cyril to get that finger up, but he gave it up. He gave it out that time. Well, it'll be interesting to see the replay there to see whether, in point of fact, it pitched in line. I think that was probably right, exactly where it hit him. Let's have another look. Yes, I think that's going to hit middle stump. Pitch middle, hit middle, up they all go. There's a huge pleat on there, and he just closed his eyes, nodded, and up went his finger. So, Ben Holyoake is out. LBW to Warne. He was lucky to survive the ball before for 2.
Remember the days when you had the wind in your hair and it didn't cost you a cent? Well, those days are back, because you can still get a Pulsar LX sedan or hatch with free air for only $19,990. That's right, only $19,990 with free air. So run down to your nearest Nissan dealer now.
Great designers understand the relationship between the human form and an object. Colgate Sensation uses the natural contours of the hand to create a handle that gives fingertip control. The same applies to the bristles that follow the contours of your teeth to give you, quite simply, an outstanding clean. The Colgate Sensation Brush for a Colgate Sensation Clean.
Well, Robert Croft has arrived at the crease and his average is 11. And of course, it's the end of the over now, so he's down at the non-strikers end. Thorpe is out there on 53. He's going to have to really try and battle through this. I suppose this does bring up the playing conditions again. 3.2. The big question is, what are they going to do? Either captain may decide to play 30 minutes, a minimum 8 overs of extra time at the end of the day. So the board's saying at the moment that 8 more overs have to be bowled. And so you add 10 to that, that's another 18.
Well, if there's another wicket or two taken, it'll be, if we can get it to 7 or 8 wickets down, definitely going on and hitting the stumps. But if we can get them 7 or 8 wickets down, then there's no doubt that the other two could fall in possible 8 extra overs.
Yes, just watch this reaction. He's been working on an LBW for a while, and has the delivery again. And you really got to look at, just watch Warne here. Please, of course, it must be. And at last he says, yes, I've got him.
I thought for a moment then his head was going to explode if the finger didn't go up any longer. It was getting frightfully red there.
So 6 for 144. It's just getting back to the little scenario we were talking about. Either captain may decide to play 30 minutes of extra time at the end of the day, other than the last day, if in their opinion it would bring about a definite result on that day. So that's the wording. I'd be highly surprised, given that wording, that Mark Taylor wouldn't go straight over to the captain at some stage and say to him, can we please affect 3.2 of the playing conditions for the test matches in 1997, and we'd like to claim the extra 30 minutes. That means they get an extra 8 overs to the 7 that now remain. So England 6 for 144.
New Kellogg's Cocoa Pops Crunchies are bars of nutritious puffed rice with that mouth-watering chocolatey taste. It's the most awesome chocolatey crunch you'll ever munch.
New Kellogg's Cocoa Pops Crunchies. Seriously Cocoa Popular.
So 6 for 144. 4 wickets left to get. In the commentary box now, Ian Chappell, and with him is Michael Slater.
Thanks very much, Tony. Australia on the march to victory now, and it looks as though it will be early tomorrow. Although I suppose with 8 overs to go, or 7 overs to go, they might just be able to sneak home tonight. That would mean retaining the Ashes for the 4th time since regaining them in '89.
I certainly hope that's the case, Ian. It'll mean, apart from some fantastic celebrations, that the guys who've been playing this game get an extra day off before we head to Ireland. And the celebrations are certainly going to be good fun.
Well, you're going to the right place to celebrate, Ireland. I don't mind a party over there, Michael.
And apparently there's some dark drink called Guinness that's not too bad.
Now, you've lost me, Michael. I'm just a plain old front bar drinker, mate. Just an old-fashioned beer will do me.
Well hustled, Dad.
But I feel, and all the guys in the squad feel, that this is or will be a fantastic achievement. The fact that we went 1-0 down in the series after the first test match. I think it's been 30 years since an Australian side can come back.
Well, this battle between Croft and Warne goes on. They're 1-6 each at the moment. Croft has just gone to the lead 2-1.